you better watch your back, lady. You better watch your back. Watch your back. ZZ109FM. This is Elsie Jenkins here. Lord have mercy. Do we have a show for you? Do we have a show for you? My goodness, talk radio is an amazing platform. You can get on here and you can express yourself. You got to take the opportunity to help people while you're on this platform. It's just an amazing opportunity. And let me tell you something. I need to read more. Someone said Trump needs to read more. He'd know how to deal with Iran if he read more. And I believe it's a true statement because a lot of information and your answers are right there in the books. People have written in the past. The information is there. You just have to go find it and read it. This show today is the enemy of the state show. As you heard our suspicious music in the intro, we've got to look at some things because there's a correlation here between information and it's telling a story. Right there in our face, it's telling a story. And I kind of came across this by accident. So in the news, I heard somebody talking about Seth Hart in trouble getting information from some source, classified source. So I was like, classified? I've heard that word before. Epstein files, classified. And I didn't put two and two together till I heard a little bit more, and then I went and did some research. Always do your research. And what I didn't realize, and I thought maybe this was just some make-believe story that Seth Hart was coming up with, but it was an actual situation at Fort Bragg, the Fort Bragg cartel. And when I saw the title of the book, which I haven't read yet, I'm going to read that book. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm also going to read the Enemy of the State book because I did watch the movie. But remember, you get more details in the books. So as you look at these situations here, I see some parallels and I see some areas that we can break down. We can break down and understand this entire situation. So let's go to the beginning here. Okay, so Seth Hart is in hot water, not because of the book, because sometimes you think because you write a book about something, you're going to get in trouble. It's how you get the information that gets you in trouble. So let's start from square one here. Now, in the studio today, it's just me. I'm not dragging nobody in here because this is the Enemy of the State show. It's a low priority. We're making sure that the information stays between me and you. That's right. You want the classified, juicy. Well, I got it right here. So let's go into this. Let me make sure I got my coffee and my 32 shots of vodka ready to go. Yes, I have 32 shots of vodka, but I'm feeling pretty good. All right, so let's just take a quick look here. I don't want to get too out of order here, but let's just go. All right, so first of all, let me tell you something. Pam Bondi, keep her in mind because she is a very important person to the American people. And I'm going to tell you why in a little bit. But we compare these two people, Seth Hart and Pam Bondi. Okay? Very, very important lady. Now, let's take a look at Seth Hart. first. Now, he's in trouble for leaking classified information. Seth Hart is currently facing legal issues related to the publication of his book and article, which had been accused of leaking classified information to journalist Seth Hart. So he got the information from somebody in the military. Remember that part. The legal proceedings involve a federal indictment on charges related to national defense disclosure. National defense. They're just saying this information is vital to national defense. Well, it's vital to making sure that those people involved in it don't get revealed. Keep that in mind. Okay, so Harp is defending himself as a whistleblower. Now, this is important because whistleblowers have protections. And he's addressing discrimination, being singled out. Now, the case has raised questions about the handling of whistleblower claims in sensitive military contexts and the potential legal consequences for disclosing classified information without authorization. Now, 10th grade education Bob was here. He'd be telling me to explain that to him. And I'm so glad he ain't here today. Because, certain people, you don't want to have to sit there and keep explaining stuff to them over and over and over again because they just ain't got the education to keep up. Makes no damn sense. He's still in the 10th grade, a grown-ass man. Lord have mercy. So let's keep it moving here. But this is important here because you see, once the information is classified, there's some rules that apply to everyone that sees it. And non-disclosure agreements, NDAs, they're everywhere. You think Puffy was the only person involved in that, but no, he learned that from somebody. These agreements mean that you can't talk. After I reveal this to you, you can't talk about what happens. Let's put it in the Diddy perspective. What happens in this party? When you leave, you can't talk about it. Sign this document. Set you up real nice. Because if you talk, this document comes up. And it kind of says, don't you open your mouth. Don't you say nothing. But see, the government's got that same document on Pam Bondi. When she went in there as the Attorney General, they said, you're about to see some things here, and you can't talk about it after you sees it. Signs here. Okay. Well, you don't know the whole snowball avalanche of stuff you're going to see when you're in that position. I don't know if she knew she was going to see those Epstein files, but whatever she saw, she's not supposed to be able to talk about it. Not even to the media, a book writer, nothing. She can't talk about this stuff. She can't. So this is the important part of this. This Fort Bragg cartel, let me tell you something. I was prior military, and the military had cliques. So I'm not surprised that Fort Bragg had a clique of people that was indulging in areas that they had no business indulging in. They're supposed to be serving the military, serving the American people, and serving the president, and serving the missions. But see, sometimes you get so powerful as a unit that you see other opportunities. Some of them aren't good. Nonetheless, you have full control. No one is looking over your shoulder, and you take advantage of it, and then you get so big and out of control that you lose control. Now, the problem with these situations, and this is where we're going with this show, is that every now and then you get a person in there with the integrity to say, this ain't right. Let me repeat that to you again. Every now and then you get a person in your unit. Now everybody else, let me tell you something. These good old boys, they know each other. They stay together. They connect like magnets. But every now and then you get one person that has the integrity to say, this ain't right. So this is where those classified documents come in. See, these classified documents know this. They know that everyone is not going to be 100% loyal to the information. They know this. So that's why these classified rules exist. Now, see, this classification system isn't built on trust. It's built on the assumption that trust will eventually fail. Ain't that something? We get down here and we break this stuff down for you because you know what's important to understand that. They know they have to put this information in people's hands that sit there and say, I am loyal to you. I am loyal to you. But in the back of their minds, they're saying, yeah, but for how long? And are you the one with integrity? That's the fear of this system that they have. Are you the one with integrity? Because if you are a risk. That brings me back to Pam Bondi. Is she that one with the integrity? Because you can look around all the players in the situation going on with the Epstein files and the key players that aren't being named. Is she the one with the integrity? See, that's why you got to look at her as an important, protective person that the American people need to protect. We need to protect her. Number one, she knows what's in those files. Number two, she was in charge to take charge of those files and make sure that X, Y, and Z happened. Number three, she failed in that process. Why did she fail? Was the integrity part of her saying, I'm not going to do any more of this. This ain't right. What is that part of the puzzle that we're not being revealed? We hope it is that part of the puzzle of integrity because, see, if you got the integrity to look at your situation and say, this ain't right, and I will no longer be a part of this, which is what some of these Republican members of the team are jumping off the ship. And some have came out and said, I resign due to what's going on. This ain't right. This is an amazing, amazing revelation here. I'm telling you now, it's amazing. And let's go a little further into this. All right, so we've got the two characters here. You've got character A and character B. And if you've been paying attention, you know who the hell character A is, and you know who the hell character B is, and I'm not going to tell you who they are. If you don't know, you might be in the same class Bob is in. Character A, military classified leak case. Hint, hint. Character B, Epstein-related sealed classified files. I made this, and I'm going to say the word shit as simple as I can make it for 10th grade education Bob suckers like Bob. Y'all need to get y'all some education and stop smoking that weed and drinking them the Coronas and get on board with the common sense we're talking about here. Now, let's go through these things and we're going to do it fast, so stay with me. What was classified and sealed? Okay, in the case of the military issues going on over there in Fort Bragg, internal military reports, operational details, sensitive investigative findings, classified communications, restricted intelligence assessments, blah, blah, blah. What it means is the internal company of soldiers from the commander all the way down, their operation was dirty. That's what it's basically saying. And all that information as to how they operated was classified. Meaning, can't talk about that. So, as to protect them from looking bad, not to protect American people from finding out and knowing that there's bad apples in the bunch. It was to protect them from looking bad. Let's flip it over to the Epstein files. U.S. court records involve victims, sealed testimony, redacted investigative materials, and some classified federal documents. Blah, 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 blah. It's the same damn thing to protect people from looking bad. All that information that they didn't want to let loose was classified, and everything in the folder that they handed over was unclassified. So all that unclassified information was worthless. Same thing though, to keep something from looking bad. Now this is where Seth and Pam Bondi come in, because these people, whether they seek out or become the whistleblower themselves, they have found the information or they have the information, and their integrity and conscience will not allow them to let that information stay dead, stay sealed. They know that it's important for the American people to know the truth. This is what makes Seth such a target and dangerous person, and Pam Bondi is now a civilian person going to a private sector of blah, blah, blah. We don't want to, you ain't fooled me one bit. You got rid of her. And now you're trying to hush her up with all the classified the rules that apply to her even after she leaves her office. And we're going to get to that. Now, the reason why they say they classify this stuff on the military situation with Seth is to protect national defense information, military operations, and internal investigations. No, it's to keep those people that are involved in it free from prosecution, free from looking bad, free from all the negative things that could happen if it was revealed. And on the Epstein side, same damn thing, to protect the victims, minors, ongoing investigation, and sensitive law enforcement methods under U.S. legal standards, blah, blah, blah. It's to protect those people that took advantage of those victims and those minors. That's why it's classified. That's why it's sealed. And if someone talks about this stuff, there's rules in place to get them hemmed up, like they're trying to hem up Seth for some of the information he received from a whistleblower in his book. This information was trying to be protected so we couldn't know about it. But Seth had the courage to create the book so we could know about it. That this stuff is happening in our military. This is some amazing stuff right here. I'm telling you now. And we have to protect Pam Bondi. She knows. We don't need that lady in prison anymore. The one that's across the water that was standing next to Epstein. We don't need her no more because Pam Bondi has all the details. Enough details. Maybe she don't have all the specific logistics information, but she's got enough detailed information to allow the American people to know exactly who, what, when, where, and how. And that's enough for me. I don't need all the extra logistics that old silly women in jail has. I don't need that. You give me the potatoes. Okay, give me the potatoes and then she can have the meat. Let's keep it moving. Names released, not released. Remember we talked about this? How the Europeans in the Epstein files names were all released out there and turned the European legal system upside down. Yet in America, the American names aren't being released. They're sealed under the classification system. Let's look at it at the military level. See, this is why Seth is in trouble, because some of those names, not the names, but the information that he received was classified. The members that caused the issues was not. the names of the members in the military that did it was not classified. So what's the difference? Why is it over here on the Epstein side that they also aren't revealed on the U.S. side? Oh, but some Europeans was released. The documents included names due to different disclosure laws, whatever. Some U.S. names remain sealed and redacted because of victim protection laws and ongoing investigation. But all of them? It's not like it's one or two, it's all of them. Does this system of classification protect people? Classification protects military operations and internal processes, not individual reputations. Really? Because the U.S. stealing redacted protects victims in ongoing cases. It can delay release of names until courts determine disclosure is legally appropriated. A double damn standard. Double standard. Because the names are not being released. And those names are probably some big names that would send this United States upside down in a turmoil, because so many leaders would be out of a job. So where are the internal problems hidden? Well, in the military, the case raised questions about the oversight and accountability inside the military. Of course it is. When you use the military resources to do something outside of your job, then yes, there are questions. Why are you taking military weapons and military personnel and abilities and doing these illegal things? And in the Epstein investigation, it raised questions about the past prosecutorial decisions and agency failures. But sealing is tied to legal standards, not proven concealment. The investigation raised questions, yeah, because some underlying energy behind the scenes is trying to control the Attorney General. Now you understand, if you had an Attorney General with integrity like a diamond, that every bit of information needed to be released to clear the victims' consciences would have been released. There would have been no passes for anyone. If you are a standing member of Congress and your name is on this list, your name will be put out as one of the players in this situation. And any benefits you have will end immediately. That's from the president all the way down. That's how the Attorney General should have handled that. Now, the question is, do you think President Trump wants an Attorney General to handle an issue like this that way? Red flag. There's your red flag. Is that why Miss Bondi's no longer here? Did she have the integrity to say, I'm releasing everything? Everything. You know, you get this information and you go to sleep a couple nights, a couple weeks, a couple months, and you start to realize what you're facing. And you have this information inside of you and your integrity. If you have integrity, if you have enough integrity, you will come to your senses and say to yourself, this ain't right. The truth has to be told. And everyone around me wants me to act like I don't see what I'm seeing. I don't see pink elephants. I don't see red peacocks. I don't see purple cats running around. But they're all running around. And everyone's acting like they're not there. Because this is the way we're supposed to operate. Well, the person with integrity will come in there and say, nah, it's what it is. It's a purple-ass cat. And I'm going to tell the American people. Let's keep it moving. Who faces legal risk for the leaks? This is where the problem is. Because if Pam Bondi does come out and say, you know what? I'm telling the truth. Then there are consequences. that she has to deal with. Even Seth has consequences. After the fact, he written the book. Consequences they all have to deal with. And this is where they need American protection. This news wouldn't have came out if the classified information and the classified rules were followed. We would have never known about these things. But see, we're being duped as American people when these situations happen. JFK assassination. Boom, boom, boom. Information's classified, so only thing we get are bits and pieces of garbage for years and years and years instead of the truth. And the only way to get the truth is to go in there and become part of the system to get the information. But once you get it, you got to sign an NDA, and then you can't talk about it. A lot of people know the truth about a lot of things. UFOs, the list goes on. But they know the truth, and they can't talk about it without consequences. Let's go. Who faces legal risk for leaks? Military insiders. Those are the people, the soldiers that are inside that release this information due to the integrity of it all. And the journalists are not normally put on the hot seat. But if you look at Seth right now, he's being placed on the hot seat. Interesting. And then on the Epstein side, anyone with authorized access who leaks, sealed, or classified information outside of proper channels, and it says not journalists, but if you are on the wrong side of things, you are going to be prosecuted. They'll find a way. Whistleblower rules. Now, there's some rules where you can become a whistleblower, but you got to go and apply for it. You can't just be a whistleblower and then run around think you have protection, because it doesn't work that way. And they only provide the protection for certain whistleblowers. That's the whole issue of this whistleblower thing. They've got control of the whistleblower system. As long as it doesn't bring me down completely, we'll take your information. But if your information is also going to bring me down, I don't want it. And if you talk, we're going to get you. It's as simple as that. If your information is going to bring me down, I don't want it. I don't want it because it's going to bring me down. So why the hell I want you to whistleblow? Only if it's going to leave me alone and take somebody else out will I accept it. And as American people, we shouldn't accept that. Any whistleblower that tells us of information about something needs immunity. Immunity from prosecution. Period. Because you are doing the American people a service by telling us the truth. The whole truth and nothing but the truth. And if they can't handle the truth and it hurts them, that's too damn bad. You shouldn't have been doing what the hells you was doing. Let's keep it moving. Can they make a private deal with the media? In the military situation, no. Classified information cannot be sold, traded, or exchanged. Any private agreement would be illegal. You see? You see, that information is valuable, but they won't let you get money from it. Even in the Epstein file situation, sealed or classified federal information cannot be exchanged for money. Any private deal would be illegal. See, illegal law. It only applies to what they want it to apply to. Penalties for unauthorized disclosure. See, now this is what Seth and this is what Pam Bondi are at that crossroad. You have the information, you got it somehow through a whistleblower, or you are the source. Pam Bondi is the source. But you have these things weighing over your head because, yes, they know that there's no loyalty. They know that, and they are ready to deal with you when you decide you don't want to be loyal anymore. They already got they can show you your consequences before you even decide to open your mouth. Look at the military side. We're looking at 10 years per count under the Espionage Act. See, created to make sure that if someone is no longer loyal, you're going to get yours. Of course, you lose your clearance, your rank, your pay, your discharge, your lifetime, blah, blah, blah. Of course, they're taking everything away from you because you had the integrity to tell the truth. And then on the federal side, you got the criminal charges for leaking sealed classified information. Classified, yeah, information about people that did things that you don't want the American people to know about. Now look at this, loss of employment. Well, Miss Bondi's already got that part out the way, and her clearance is gone. Civil or criminal contempt for violating court orders, and no whistleblower protection if proper channels are not used. Remember, if she don't go through some channels to say she wants to tell the American people this information, she don't get the protection. But we should protect her as American people. She is one of our best sources of what's in them damn files. Classification system is built on control, not trust. The U.S. military and intelligence community don't assume anyone has 100% loyalty. Do you hear that? They don't assume anyone has 100% loyalty or perfect judgment. So instead of relying on trust, they rely on a system of control. Access levels, need to know rules, and compartmentalization. Bob would be mad because I got that wrong. He has something smart to say too. This means a person only sees that they need or what they need for the job. Information is divided into layers, and remember, you got that confidential, secret, and that top secret. Every access is logged and monitored, and it's a way to limit damage if someone leaks. Look at that word right there. Limit damage. That's the whole game plan. What is our goal? And everyone looks around in the Oval Office is to limit damage. To limit damage. They know they're going to get some damage because they can't keep people quiet. So they throw all these rules in place to shut them up or to hold them accountable if they talk. Limit damage. That's exactly what this whole situation is about. Don't be fooled about that information. Limit damage. All right. ZZ109FM, let's go. Why leaks still happen? Well, even with all these controls, leaks occur, and I'm just going to go past all this because the person uses their internal mindset and their integrity tells them that this is not right. You can read all this other stuff. People that disagree with how information is used, and they want to expose wrongdoing, and they're careless or angry, and they're manipulated or bribed. The classification. You know what? Let me tell you something. Integrity is what it is. And when you look at your situation and you decide that you are trying to do the right thing, it doesn't matter what position you are on the planet. You are a dangerous person because you know that this is not right, and I know what is right, and I know the right way to do it. You're dangerous. You're very dangerous. And that's what the system, American government system, is dealing with. The loyalty part, they are not worried about that because they know that everyone's not going to be loyal to them. The logic behind this whole classified thing is when information is already classified, the government can prove this person knew it was protected and shared it anyway. You see? They've got it all set up. Before you go in there and see it, you're going to sign these documents. You know. You ain't got to see it yet, but you already know. And these are what's going to happen to you. That's why this Espionage Act is being placed upon Seth. Anybody that sent him information that was classified. It's not about loyalty in the emotional sense. It's about legal accountability. And legal is their protection. legal accountability. That's their protection right there. That keeps them to limit the damage. See, there's going to be damage with this information they have here. So when we look at this image here, we see an image of a woman praying, trying to determine what should she do. What should she do? It's hard. It's hard to look at the situation you're in sometimes. Because if you go this way and you do the right thing, you'll find yourself possibly in prison for the rest of your life. And if you go this way and you don't do anything, then you allow a group of people to stand in front of American people and look like they're absolute angels. And you know for a fact that they're not angels at all. They're the opposite of what an angel is supposed to represent. ZZ109FM, this is it. Look at this lineup of people we got here. Look at these people. Which one do y'all think we're trying to turn in? Look at them. You got this maid over here, some rough white man over here. You got the clown. Look at this grandma. Don't let grandma fool you. You got a good old cook over here. Yeah, And you got this old gentleman here with his looks like a red Republican tie. Lord have mercy. Which one of these suckers? Which one of them gonna talk? Which one has the integrity to come out and tell the truth? Who knows? Who knows? It could be anyone. So this system is designed to catch everybody slipping. The system assumes risk with the office. So the federal protection is designed around institutional continuity, not personal exposure. And let me tell you something about this Attorney General. This Attorney General sees a lot of information. And this Attorney General knows a lot of information, present and past. So when they leave the office with all this information, I'm telling you now, they are targets. They need protection. Now, even though their access to classified material is revoked, their public role drops. Any remaining risk can be managed privately, now that they're no longer in office. That assumption doesn't always match reality because they are a knowledgeable source, and if someone was to gain access to them and possibly coerce them, do something to them, kidnap a family member, put them on the hot seat to talk somehow, some way, they need protection. They need protection, and I think that's why it's important for us to look at Bondi as she's one of our last chances. There's a reason why she's not there anymore. We hope it's on the side of integrity that kept her from staying in that situation. But she received enough information in the meantime to be able to give us clarity. Now, we was wondering about the situation. We was like, well, what? She walks out of there with no protection. Like the presidents have Secret Service. She walks out of there with no protection. So the only way she gets any protection is if a threat arises. A threat arises? What do you mean arises? That means it's already happening. A former official faces credible danger because of what they know or said. Do you hear what I just said? What they know. Forget the said part. We ain't got there yet. The FBI, U.S. Marshal Service can temporarily assign protection. Department of Justice Threat Management Center can monitor and coordinate the local law enforcement. Monitor. This is where we get the enemy of this state. You need to see that movie if you haven't seen it. And I'm going to read the book because this is real. You can imagine that if she left on terms where they're not happy with her. If you watch the movie Enemy of the State, you'll realize that they have ways of keeping track of what you're doing. And how do you protect someone like that when they're using their high-tech tools to keep tabs on them? I mean, she can hire private security. Or they can provide it for her, but there's no automatic lifetime security shield for her, because this is only going to last for a certain amount of time, and then she becomes a regular person like you and me with all that information. That's amazing. So here we have her walking, leaving the government, but see, they're going to keep tabs on her because they know she knows information, but they're not too concerned because they know she's held under them rules we talked about, them classified rules. The consequences of those classified rules, passing that information on. Look, classification binds that person, not the position. When someone, even a former attorney general, has had access to classified material, they sign the NDA. And they're subject to federal secrecy laws. Leaving the office doesn't cancel those obligations. They've got codes in place. They've got executive orders. They've got NDAs in place. Lifetime agreements. Lifetime. You can't talk. So even after leaving the Attorney General's office, she is legally unable to discuss or confirm details about the Epstein files information. And I'm telling you now, we've got to figure out some way to protect her so she can. Because this system is keeping that information locked up, and the victims have no way of gaining access to it. Doesn't sound like they're going to give access to it on the government ground level, because the information they received was unclassified. All the classified information has been retained. Silence, how's it enforced? It's not a gag order, it's a continual legal duty. She can talk all she wants to, but if she says anything in regards to classified information, then all these rules come falling down and crashing down on her. Leaving the situation, gets briefing, she's ongoing monitoring, and you know what that is. The enemy of the state intelligence equipment. There's a legal risk for her, and pressure from the victims, because you know they're going to be on top of the fact that she's now home. She's now back into the civilian population. She's like someone you can see at Starbucks. You can go to her and talk to her and wear her mentally down and cry until she starts to get involved mentally in this. Why this matters for Epstein-related files. Some Epstein files were classified and sealed because they involve international intelligence, ongoing criminal investigation, victim protection, sensitive law enforcement, blah, blah, blah. It's because they have the specific names of the people involved that did it. And those names are big names, very big names. Many people would be out of work if these big names were to get released. It's that simple. Last but not least, in order for her to say something, she's got to get permission. If she doesn't get permission, then she's not gonna get the protection, because the protection part is the only way she can talk. And we've got to find some way to change these rules, because we need the information. Doesn't need to be held, doesn't need to be withheld from us any longer. And everyone that's, think about it, you got people walking around here that have done things to children, and they still hold positions, and they still around children. Now, you know, on the regular, once you are considered a pedophile, you can't be so many feet from children. You cannot. And there's certain positions you can't have when you are in this pedophile zone. Yeah, we're protecting people in America, but didn't protect the people in Europe. Put their names all out. Well, we got half of the battle done, but what about the American names? So we're going to conclude this show. It's very simple. Even after leaving office, that former Attorney General is held to silence by law, not by politics. They can discuss policy, oversight, and reform, but not the content of the classified information that they've seen over their tenure in the office. It doesn't make any sense, but I tell you what, we're hoping that the reason why she left is due to integrity. If it is due to integrity, I don't think we've seen the last of Pam Bondi. I don't think we've seen the last of her. That integrity will fuel her to make a decision as to what is more important, being silent or coming up and making sure that the American people know the truth. ZZ109FM, this Elsie Jenkins. We got our secret show out the way. Enemy of the state. Lord have mercy. When you're in these areas and you're learning this stuff, and then you don't do what they want you to do, they fire you. That's what they do. Get out of here. Because you ain't part of the team. They fire you. But then when they fire you, don't get on their bad side or you'll become the enemy of the state. ZZ109FM, this is Elsie Jenkins. Y'all take care and have a safe 2026. Look over your back. Be careful out there. Look over your back. Be careful out there. ZZ109FM. This is Elsie Jenkins here. Lord have mercy.